Historian YouTube channel. My name is Adrienne Lee. You know me as the Wandering Art Historian. Boy, have we been having fun with this YouTube series or what? I am loving every minute of it and I hope you are too. Strong female lead. What's more there? What's more to say on a topic like that? Art history, pop culture, coming together. That's a good time. I hope that you are hitting like on the videos. I hope you're commenting on the videos. I hope you're asking me questions on the videos. I love hearing from you. And I hope you're sharing the videos with people you think might be interested. And I hope that you are subscribing to the Wandering Art Historian YouTube channel because there are more cool things on the way. Don't forget that the cool thing, so many cool things, associated with this YouTube series is its connection to the Wandering Art Historian blog. Don't forget, every time a new video comes out on YouTube, a new blog post comes up on the blog with additional information. So if you're looking for more info on this video, go to the blog and click on Strong Female Lead Part 4 for all the artwork that we discuss, more interesting facts and goodies. It's a good time. Follow the blog. You'll be glad you did. Let's get started. Okay. This is one of my most favorite stories in all of art history. I love the story of Judith. She is amazing. This is going to get a little bloody, but let's dive right in, okay? Judith was a beautiful Jewish widow whose story is in the apocryphal book of Judith, okay? When the Assyrian army is camped outside her city, she decides to take matters into her own hands. And let me tell you, those Assyrians were not, they were bad dudes, okay? You think the Romans were bad? The Assyrians were awful. She and her maidservant entered the Assyrian camp and she catches the eye of the general, Holofernes, okay? And she is frequently depicted in artwork in very glamorous outfits, lots of jewels, amazing hair, but also with a knife, a dagger, or a sword. And why is that? So let's talk about the story of Judith, and then we'll see how she's depicted in art, and then we'll talk about who her modern day pop culture component might be, okay? So Judith is this absolutely beautiful woman. She is a widow. She does have a maidservant, you know, to keep her company and keep things going. And when the Assyrian army shows up outside of her city, like the people are like, oh, well, that's it. We're doomed. We had a good run. Those Assyrians, there's no way we can stop them. And Judith is like, come on, people, we've got to be able to come up with something. Don't you want to protect our city and the people inside? And they're like, oh, all hope is lost. The Assyrians were also so cocky that the night before the battle, they threw a feast, like a banquet, celebrating their impending victory. What's crazy is Judith hatched a plan, right, to thwart the entire Assyrian army, and she was a genius. So she got gussied up. She wore her best outfit. She did her hair all gorgeous. She put on all of her jewels, and she took her maidservant. In the middle of the night, they creep through the town, and they exit the town and enter the camp of the Assyrian army, okay? And they're feasting and they're drinking and they're having a great time. And like a hush falls over the crowd and everyone's like, oh my goodness, who is this amazing, gorgeous woman who's pretty courageous and brave to walk in here? And she's just like, hey everybody, here I am. Let's get this party started. Holofernes, the general, sees her and is instantly smitten. This dude just crumbles at her feet and he's like, oh girl, come on over here with me. I want you to hang out with me tonight. And she's like, yeah, okay. He is drinking and partying so hard all night, and Judith is so smart. She's just sitting back, like watching things happen, staying sober, just like everything is falling into place. Night's wrapping up and Holofernes is feeling all lovey-dovey, and he's like, Judith, why don't you come with me to my boudoir? And she's like, okay. They go back to his little tent, and he instantly passes out, blackout drunk, like just pops. Okay. Judith is like, okay, time to get to work. She takes Holofernes, his own sword, and decapitates him, takes his head, stuffs it into a bag, sneaks out the back. Okay, everybody's passed out. The Assyrian army, whatever, they had a great time. The next morning, chaos, disarray. The Assyrian camp is like, weren't we supposed to fight today? Where's the general? Judith comes strolling out with the head of Holofernes and is like, oh, this guy? Is this who you're looking for? Chaos. The city is saved. The Assyrian army is like, this woman took out our general? Who are we to stand up to this? Judith saved her entire town. And I think that's pretty awesome and incredibly heroic. So let's look at how this amazing heroine is depicted throughout art history. Okay, so what's great about these three paintings, all three are depicting Judith, and you can kind of tell who Judith is because she's the most glamorous in each painting. And you notice how the light falls on her, kind of making her seem like she's glowing. Also, she's absolutely fabulously dressed, crazy good hair, jewels and what have you, and she's also the one with the weapon. Have you noticed that? Now, in all three of these instances, you can see to a certain extent somebody's dead head. Okay, that's Holofernes, or was. But you also see the maidservant. Now, in some depictions of this story, the maidservant is depicted as an older woman, and that's, I mean, this story gives artists a lot of cool creativity to explore. It's almost like a visual resume because they can depict lavish clothing, elaborate fabrics and jewels, and elaborate hairstyles, kind of showing off their talent and skills. But it also allows the artist to show off that they can do old men, old woman, young woman, dead head, like, you know, showing that they understand human anatomy. So there's that, okay? Let's look at some other depictions. Okay, so our friend Artemisia Gentileschi, who has come up a few times in previous videos, she depicted the story of Judith slaying Holofernes so many times, multiple, 4, 5, 6 times, and from different parts of the story. So what you're looking at here is Judith with her maidservant. Both of these images, like in a like right before they flee the Assyrian camp, right? And what's so cool is Artemisia Gentileschi, she decides to depict the maidservant as someone almost the same age as Artemisia, almost as if they were peers or even friends. And I really appreciate that because that kind of shows the female bond, you know. And the reason why Judith got all dressed up was so that she could catch the eye of Holofernes. So I think that's a really beautiful relationship to show between Judith and her maidservant. And both of these are by Artemisia Gentileschi as well. As you can see, Judith on the left in a gold dress, that Artemisia gold that we've discussed before, and on the right, Judith in a beautiful blue dress, but showing Judith in the act of really just hacking away at Holofernes' head. We see blood, gore, and the role of the maidservant in helping Judith by holding him down because he's squirming all over the place. Okay, so who could be a modern day counterpart to Judith who slayed Holofernes? Yay! Buffy, of course, the Slayer. I think Buffy is a really cool component and plays into the tradition of Judith super, super well. Because if you think about it, the whole idea of Buffy Summers is to turn that horror film trope of the final girl, the blonde high school cheerleader who, oh, runs and I'm afraid, whatever. No, 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 no. Buffy is that character turned on its head. She is the chosen one. She is a slayer, and she's tough, and she is beautiful, always beautifully dressed, fashion forward, but she always carries her weapon of choice with her, as we all know, Mr. Pointy, and she protects her town, Sunnydale, right? From, you know, everybody coming out of that hellmouth. Demons, vampires, who knows what's coming out of there. So I love that correlation between Judith and Buffy, but I want to take it a step further because I want to give a shout out to Buffy's best friend, Willow. I don't see her as a maidservant. I see her as a team player, as a confidant. And I love that wonderful relationship that they have throughout the entire series, relying on each other. And Willow with her own powers, being a powerful witch in her own right. So shout out to Buffy, shout out to Willow, and the power of ladies teaming up to take out evil. That's pretty awesome. So yeah, I love to think of Buffy as a modern representation of Judith, just taking out the bad guy when nobody else will, and being driven by kind of like an inner divine passion and the ability to do it. And look good the whole time too, right? Fabulous. Thank you so much. This has been such a delight. I hope you've had fun. I love this topic. I hope that you do too. My name is Adrienne Lee. You know me as the Wandering Art Historian. Definitely subscribe to this channel. Definitely follow the blog. I have some incredible, awesome, surprising things coming in 2023 that you are not going to want to miss out. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time.